Hello and welcome to Ula Tea Leaf Readings. My name is Lenor and tonight I'm going to be reading your tea leaves. This is a horoscope for Libra. If Libra is your solar, lunar, ascendant / rising sign, then this is a message for you. All right, let's get started. And so this is a bonus reading for Libra. And tonight we have the Sun card. And let's see what these tea leaves have to say. And if you have not subscribed yet, please think about doing that. You can hit the little bell and it'll let you know when the next readings are coming out. It is free to subscribe. Okay, so immediately I am seeing we have, it looks like Frosty the Snowman right here. You can see his eyes, his nose, his mouth. He has that little hat on. I immediately thought, there goes Frosty. So I don't know what this means exactly. Maybe it is that you are getting some cold weather even when it's supposed to be warming up, or maybe you're in the southern hemisphere and it's colder than expected. You're already into the winter. And maybe this is like a cartoon, or you had a book when you were a kid. There's kind of a beloved energy with Frosty. I remember that cartoon that they used to play around Christmas time, and then I showed it to my daughter this year, and she thought it was pretty cool. The problem was we didn't have any snow. Almost all winter we had maybe like 5 inches of snow, and so she didn't get to make her little Frosty the Snowman this year, and that was kind of a bummer. But yes, I like this energy. That seems fun. I also love the symbolism of Frosty. The nothing is forever, is it? We must have our fun when we can, because time goes by so quickly. And Frosty really taught us that, didn't he? Now, we also have, it looks like we have 4, 8, 3, 1. And then below it, we have the omega sign, so end. It would be the end. Also, I think it's just the last letter in the Greek alphabet. Yes. And so, yes, omega is the end. So we do maybe have an ending here. The numbers, if they mean something to you, they are here showing themselves, and do with that what you will. But I want to see what's going on with that ending. Something ending. Now we have another 3 right here. So we have 4, 8, 3, 1, and then we have a 3. Another 3 right there. Okay, and then we have the bison. You can see here the shape of a bison. Huh. Well, that one's interesting. Look at that face there. We have the eyes. Let me see. The eyes here. Nose, mouth. It looks like a mask. Maybe some kind of head dress or a hat or some kind of something. It does kind of remind me of something like to do with like Santa Muerte, or something like this. So then we have a person kind of, it almost looks like they're raising their hand like a farewell. So what I'm getting from this is that there is some kind of ending happening. And with the bison, I feel like there really is this sense of, and now it doesn't look so much like the bison. It kind of looks like, yeah, it is. It's the bison. A sense of resolve, a sense of being mindful about where you put your energies. You know, where you maybe are having these kind of rising emotions, maybe anxieties, maybe some grief, worried about the future, worried about what this means. What is this end that is happening? What is changing in my life? You have this bison energy, or the buffalo. People call them the buffaloes. They're American buffaloes. And if you think about a buffalo, this is in any large animal really, like this, is that they are intentional about their movement. They burn a lot of calories when they move. So they have to eat and drink and rest and, you know, not expend too much energy needlessly. So the movements are calculated, and there is a sense of great kind of loyalty to a family, chosen or of origin. And so I feel as this thing is happening, as there is a shift in the variables of your life, the circumstances, and so on. Even if it's something that is joyous or you know, you've been working towards it, there is still the underlying you know, anxiety of change. And I think that you are really allowing yourself to feel how you feel, but I also think that you are very determined to be thoughtful about your reactions and your ways of coping. And so, you know, I look at this and it feels like it is a celebration of transition. And that doesn't have to be that somebody is passing away or anything like that. But it is the celebration of an end to begin something anew, right? Another chapter, another cycle. And it feels profound. I mean, this does. It feels like a big thing. I almost wonder if you are maybe like maybe you're changing your job. That's what keeps coming to mind, is like maybe working in a different location, or your position has changed. Maybe you're going into another role. Maybe you're shifting out of the team you were on, or whatever it is. But I don't think you thought it was going to be that big of a deal until it is approaching. And I feel like there's this uncertainty about kind of going into a new dynamic, maybe working with different people, whatever it is. And so, you know, I think that, and this makes sense. You know, you kind of worry, like, I have to meet these new people. I have to kind of get to know them. You know, are we going to get along? Is it going to be in kind of atmosphere that I want to be in? And so I feel like there is this kind of trying to find a balance here. But I feel that, you know, ultimately, and I was looking at these little hearts up here, ultimately, there is a sense of really loving the new circumstance. I think ending up being, you know, really pleasantly surprised. And as I also look down below we have the hearts up here, we look down, I can see we have a person seated here. You can see kind of their head, and they're seated. And then we have another person over here. Their head would be up here and their body seated. holding what looks like a pot and communing, sharing a meal together, which sharing a meal with somebody is one of the most sacred tradition or rituals that we can do. Even if we don't think of every meal as a ritual, it absolutely is. And especially when we are sharing it with somebody that we're getting to know, or somebody who, we already have an established relationship with. We're celebrating, we are taking in sustenance together, we are communing, having a conversation, making eye contact, sharing soul to soul in a lot of ways. And so, I feel like this will end up being a place where you feel most welcomed, and I feel you really settling in quickly, and just, as the novelty does wear off, as it always does. I just feel like you can kind of breathe easily, right? You feel like you know what you're doing. You have a lot of like positive support around you, and everything is kind of working out as it should, and I feel like you're very, very aware of that. There's a sense of like all things are in the places that they should be. And so that is, that's a wonderful outcome to find. And now if this is not a work situation, I mean, it could be that you are moving or in a relationship or ending a relationship, whatever it is. I just like to use the examples that really come to my mind. Sometimes things stand out more, but I don't want to limit it to, very precise. Sometimes it is, and there's no avoiding it. But in this case, it could be applied to different core life configurations. Okay, so we have a person here. I'm looking, they're seated, and they're holding, it almost looks like, I'm imagining like a bundle of leaves or herbs or something. And it feels like there's a cleansing or a desire for cleansing. And this makes sense. We're in that time of year where we do that spring clean or fall clean, kind of clearing out different parts of the home, getting things wiped down and opening up the windows, letting fresh air come in, decluttering and all of that, reorganizing things. But as we do that as well, doing, whatever our technique of spiritual cleansing might be, the big one for me is really just getting fresh air through the house. And that might not seem, like super spiritual, but I really believe that it is. It blows out the stagnant energies that kind of find their way into your home when everything is closed up, when it is very, very cold and you have the heat up, or when it's very hot and you are kind of trying to keep the house cool. During these times of the year, the energy in the home can really become kind of bunched up, getting blockages. You might begin to feel like you're, almost kind of claustrophobic, or, you come into your home and it's like, I don't know, just kind of like a stuck, or you just don't want to really be there. It's not very energetic. And one way to really kind of push this through is, opening the windows. Even when it is hot or it is kind of cold, you know, definitely aim for that coolest point of the day and open the windows a little bit and let that air in. Or when it's cold, maybe, you know, whenever it's the warmer, cooler, in the evening when it's cooler, or at the peak of day when it's warmer. And, you know, it helps so much more than you know. And I'm not somebody who will say, oh yeah, get some fresh air, that's going to fix everything. Because it won't. But it does absolutely shift something inside of you and within our home spaces. And so, I mean, really, if you've ever been into a home where it is, the air is thick and it's, you know, dusty and dark, and there's a heaviness to the energy there, you know, you almost have the impulse to open windows. And I am like that bad friend, acquired daughter. I will walk into somebody's house and without thinking, I'll start opening their windows up. You know, and it's not about like it smells or anything like that. It's just, it's like I feel that I instinctually feel like, okay, we need some fresh air in here. There needs to be some movement in here. You know, it just, you know, I don't know. These days I do ask. But when I was younger, I definitely would just like come in and open up the window. It's like the middle of winter. All right, let's see. Let's see. Right. So we do have these birds up here, and they very much remind me of like vultures or something that is circling. And we do have that death energy. So really what comes to mind immediately is being careful of people. I'm trying to think how to say this. So when we're going through these life changes, right? And if you share it with people or not, you know, I think often we give off an energy, like we're going through a big shift in our life. I'm feeling a little bit more emotional, maybe a little bit more open, a little bit more closed off or vulnerable. And, you know, there will be people who, if they're just kind of, they want the details, they want all the gossip, they want to kind of, you know, I don't know, indulge in other people's happenings, you know. And what do I mean by that? It's like, you know, when somebody has like a relative that transitions, or you know, you get like in a breakup or a divorce, or, you know, whatever it is. And you have these people in your life who maybe they're not even really friends. They're kind of acquaintances. They just show up in your DMs, right? They're calling you, they're talking, pulling you aside at drop off or whatever. And just, you know, overly interested in, and it's like a feeding off of the energy of whatever's going on. And as soon as they get it, they get that little, you know, whatever they get from it, then they're on to the next one, you know. And it's almost kind of like these vultures that like they come in and they just, they want to partake in the ordeal, but not to help, not to really do anything. They just want to be a part of it in some way. They want to talk about it usually. So I'm looking at it and I'm thinking, you know, just be careful, be mindful. Don't, you know, don't feel, well, I'm not going to tell you how to feel, but, you know, try to remind yourself that it's not personal. When people behave this way, I think it's just, you know, they're not thinking, fully about, you know, how they might make somebody feel, coming around and kind of, you know, being that kind of nosy person. And it's just, I don't know, we just kind of live in a world that's like that. And it seems like it's like even more so because we have, you know, like the social media stuff where it's like you can be friends with somebody and keep up with their life and not talk to them for like 10 years. You're just watching passively what's going on in their life and, you know, not ever really engage too deeply. And so, you know, I think this spills over into our, you know, day-to-day doings with other people, our interactions, you know, and so try to remember that it's not personal. it's just the way people are these days, and if you don't want to tell them anything, don't. I feel like I'm the master at like avoiding answering questions in real life because I'm so awkward. I just absolutely will give a really boring answer and then ask them how about them. You tell me about you. All right, so we have a bird on their nest. Look at that. So yes, something new coming. And I feel like it is this sense of fortune, abundance. We have a fish right next to it. So, you know, through all of this other stuff, there is that solar energy, that energetic energy. And I feel like it is coming soon. It's coming fast. And yeah, and I feel like you are kind of bringing something into manifestation. So something you've been working on, something you've been dreaming of. You've put in the work, you've laid the groundwork, and now you're just sitting on those eggs. You're just waiting for this thing to hatch, and this might be, you know, that you are moving in that job, doing something different, whatever it is. But I do think that there will be the money coming through. Okay, so we have the fish, which is the abundance of it all. It is a resource. It is, you know, quite a lot. I mean, it could be a lot. I don't know. But I do think, you know, once you start seeing the money there, that helps with everything, you know. And I'm not saying that you're a materialistic person, but listen, we all have to pay our bills. And so there's nothing wrong with being happy that, you know, the work that you're doing is helping, you know, fund your life. So, Libra, let's go ahead and look at these Indigo Sage affirmation cards. I'm starting to run out of steam a little bit here, so I apologize. I've been packing all day long and almost done, almost finished with it. And I'm very excited, very excited. So the air element. And we're just going to go ahead and flip till it feels right. And then we have this beautiful incense. Look at that. Let me flip it over and it says sacred smoke cleansing. There we go. Maybe you cleanse with smoke. I used to. I absolutely always was. I have a great love for mixing my own incense, you know, concoctions. And I just don't, because I have a daughter and, well, a kid now, you know, and so I'm always worried about it affecting her. Sometimes I'll burn incense when she's at school or whatever, she's not in the home, and then let it air out. But I can't wait to get back to being able to to burn it more often. But yes, so we have sacred smoke cleansing with amazing strength and fluidity. Your love is an interpreting power. Interpenetrating. I'm so sorry. Interpenetrating. Yeah, interpenetrating. I don't think I've ever seen that. Have I seen that word? Like in health class? I'm going to look it up really quick. Interpenetrating. Yeah, I guess it is. It's just coming. It is, yeah, interpenetrating. Two things kind of coming together. Or, you know, multiple things, I guess. Yeah. There we go. You know, I haven't seen that word. That's a long word for me. And I read, you know, well, I don't read a lot anymore. I read a lot of poetry and stuff like that. But, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, you'll know from my channel. I have a hard time pronouncing things. Actually, this was so funny. The other day, my neighbor corrected me how I said something. And I was like, oh my goodness. That hasn't happened in so long. Like somebody correcting me. But I thought it was, I had to laugh. I laughed. I couldn't stop myself because it's something I try. I do my best to learn things and I just default back to, however I'm hearing it in my head. And, I don't know, you know, I had, my father was dyslexic. My brother, my late brother, was dyslexic, and I have ADHD, and I just also, I have, like trouble with numbers. I'm almost kind of dyslexic with numbers, I think. I don't know for sure if that's the thing, but yeah. So anyway, sometimes you're going to hear me read a word incorrectly. And I feel kind of self-conscious about that, but also, you know what? It's not the first time. It's not going to be the last time. All right. Oh my goodness, Lenor. All right. I'm going to be thinking about this all night. I'm going to wake up in the middle of the night thinking about it. And I could edit it out, but I'm not going to because you know what? That's the charm. That's my charm right there. All right, Libra, thank you so much for spending this time with me. It's always such an honor to be able to bring these messages to you. And if you would be so kind as to like the video, it does help the channel a lot. And if you have not subscribed yet, please think about doing that. You can hit that little bell. It'll let you know when the next readings are coming out. And it is free to subscribe. If you would like to leave a comment, please do. I would love to hear from you. You can give some commentary on my my you know lack of ability to read. But you know, what are you gonna do? So, and actually, you know, it's funny because today, most of my day, I was packing the books. Between my husband and I, we have, I don't even know, I mean, a couple thousand books, I would say. We have a library. And don't, before you think anything, we're not like super fancy or anything like that. We love to go to like used bookstores and, you know, like library sales and this kind of thing. And each of us both were collecting books before we met each other. So we merged our collection and then it became one of our great loves to do together. So it's embarrassing, but like you know, I'm not an uneducated person. It's not like I haven't read extensively, so I don't know. I know, I'm just going to keep finding excuses. All right, Libra. Thankfully, it was a Libra reading because you all are sweethearts. So, you know, you won't make fun of me too much, I hope. All right, I love you. Take care of yourself. We'll talk in a few days. Good night. Oh, I hit the wrong button again. We have this new switchboard thing that I have to use. Let's see. Okay, I have to press this button. All right, good night. I found the button.